So hello guys, welcome back, and today we are going to be doing the rose gold, champagne gold marble set. So I've got these products in the post yesterday. This is the SBD London, and I got two sets, the rose set and the mermaid. So this is obviously number 2 rose and 12 mermaid. And so we're just going to be doing 2 coats of each layer. So I do one solid nail in each colour, and then I do one as like a horizontal ombre and the other one as like a vertical. I don't actually ombre them, but the colours are so similar they naturally blend together anyway, so it gives you that like illusion of an ombre. But the cure times for these is 1 minute in a LED lamp. So they're cured up all nicely, and we're just putting the second coat of each colour on now. I did not cure between each colour, I just left it, and if they blend together slightly it's really not a big deal. You're not going to see a lot of the background anyway, so yeah, it's not the end of the world if they was to start smudging. Plus they are very similar, so they will blend quite nicely together, I reckon. Okay, so guys, they go in the lamp to cure, and while they're curing we're just going to go and mix all the ombre together. So you're going to need a little drop of each of those base colours that we used, because we're going to go and add more detail in with it later on. So I'm just putting all the colours that I actually need on my palette, and then I'm going to go in with some white whenever it wants to come up. There we go. And this is right at the end of the bottle, and I had to cut out so much of this because I was literally sat there for 5 minutes waiting for this white to drain out the bottle. I prefer to use same brand colours together. I don't like mixing brands, but I actually don't have, because obviously I bought those products brand new, I don't have the white and the black and everything else, all the basic colours yet for that set. So I'm using Naio Nails Serious Black and Snow White to do all the marbling, because it's not going to go on a client, it's not going to cause any problems if they don't cure nicely together. So that's all I do, and then I just get a little dotting tool there and wiggle them together. I wanted this set to be very light, so I used more white than black to do the marbling. Catch a little mum at the end of the bloody recording there. It's a weekend and I'm getting bugged by the kids. Oh, anyway, so this is blooming gel that we're putting on. I do believe you could just use a base coat. However, I find that gel polish doesn't bloom quite as well using a base coat. SBD London, as far as I'm aware, do not have a blooming gel available, so I'll have to try and have a little play later with their base coat and marbling and see what it really does with it, if it blooms as well as a blooming gel would. So I've just got a really rubbish fan brush that I picked up from Amazon, I think, just when I was first starting out 3 years ago, and yeah, it's crap. But yeah, it does a job to do this type of marbling anyway, or put on loose glitter or something. But yeah, I said I wanted the marble to be quite light, but there is a lot of white in this one. So I'm just going in with some black and just wiggling it around a little bit and, you know, letting it go crazy really, bloom and do what it needs to do. With blooming gel, let it bloom and until you're happy with it and then cure it. You can also tilt the nail. So if you want the bloom to kind of go more to the left or the right, you can just tilt the nail and it will do it. It will tip it upside down. It will do it quite nicely for you. So have a play with blooming gel. It's amazing stuff. Again, you're just scooping it up with a fan brush and put it on the nail and just give it a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I like my marbling to kind of all go in the same direction. It looks nicer. You don't have to. I think on one of the nails I did experiment. I think it's this one. I experimented and put it coming down in a direction it wouldn't normally go. I'm not a fan of it, but other people might be. So yeah, just play with it and see what you can create and what you like. And look how fast it is. I love this type of marbling because of how fast it is. I should do a future video on all the different ways you can marble, because there's so many different ways. This one's not my favourite, it's not my go-to, but for this set it's the quickest. Now with these, I cure for 60 seconds, even though the colours are 30, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think the bloom and gel is also 30, but where it's quite a thick layer, I just leave it in for double the time, just to make sure it is properly cured all the way through. So here we are going in with a lining brush and going in with the gold bits. This adds dimension. It makes it look like the background is peeking through the marble. It's also handy to break up any spots if you think it's just too grey or too dark or too light. You know, you can just go in there and add extra bits. If you don't like a little bit at the end and you want to kind of remove it, you can. Because of the type of colour it is, it just looks like it's going to peek through all of that artwork that you've done. Looks like it's broken marble basically, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous at the end. But yeah, so I'm basically just matching the colour and trying to follow the direction that the marble is naturally going in when we bloomed it. It just makes it look a bit better. That's it, that's the last bit coming up. This will then cure again for another 60 seconds. What I forgot to do is film putting on the top coat, but it was the SBD top coat that I used, and they look glossy. This was the set that got the attention on Facebook, and this was our completed set today. So thank you guys. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the bell.